Welcome back to the Action Zone. You're watching Undisputed Wrestling Desk, where WWE comes alive. Subscribe and get ready for the latest updates. There are moments in wrestling that shake not just the ring, but the entire foundation of the business. What happened to Cody Rhodes after Saturday night's main event wasn't a storyline or an accident. It was something that blurred the line between showmanship and reality. Sources inside WWE confirmed that Cody sustained a serious neck injury after a backstage altercation, leaving him hospitalized and forcing officials to confront the unthinkable. A deliberate act carried out behind the curtain of sports entertainment. For an industry that thrives on drama, this moment hit differently. It wasn't entertainment anymore. It was betrayal. Triple H's breaking point. Triple H has seen everything there is to see in WWE. Rivalries, controversies, chaos, but those close to him say this incident has pushed him to his emotional limit. Witnesses describe him as furious but focused, pacing the halls of WWE headquarters through the early hours of Sunday morning. By 3 a.m., he had summoned staff and talent for an emergency meeting, refusing to wait until business hours. One insider described his words bluntly: "We protect our people, and someone failed that duty tonight." What began as a routine post-show debrief turned into a declaration that WWE would stop at nothing to find out who was responsible. The shock heard around the locker room. When news of Cody's injury spread through the locker room, the atmosphere shifted instantly. Performers who had just finished celebrating a successful show were suddenly quiet, shaken, and confused. Cody, one of the most respected figures in modern wrestling, wasn't just another superstar. He was a symbol of resilience and leadership. His peers rushed to check on him, but hospital updates were grim. Though WWE has not released full medical details, reports suggest the injury could threaten not only his in-ring future, but his everyday comfort and mobility. For many wrestlers, it was a sobering reminder that the physical and emotional risks of their profession extend far beyond the squared circle. Inside the investigation. In the wake of the attack, Triple H personally assumed control of WWE's internal investigation. Rather than delegating it to security or management, he began coordinating directly with law enforcement, reviewing footage and interviewing witnesses. Employees describe a tense atmosphere at headquarters. Long hours, guarded conversations, and a sense that the company was going through one of its most serious internal crises in decades. There's a growing belief that the altercation was not spontaneous, but premeditated by individuals who exploited access and trust. To Triple H, that's more than a breach of rules. It's a betrayal of family. Cody Rhodes' battle to recover. Cody's condition remains serious, but stable. Medical specialists are optimistic about his physical recovery, though they caution that his path back to the ring could take time. Family members have shared that the emotional weight of the ordeal has been just as heavy as the physical pain. Those close to Cody say he's heartbroken, not just because of the injury, but because it came from within his own world, a world built on respect, loyalty, and shared sacrifice. His wife, Brandy, has been by his side, describing her husband's strength as unbreakable, even while facing one of the darkest moments of his career. Trust shattered. Perhaps the most haunting part of this story is the sense of betrayal. Sources indicate that the altercation involved people Cody once considered friends, individuals he trusted enough to share locker rooms, dinners, and personal moments with. For a man who has always championed professionalism and integrity, that realization cut deeper than any physical wound. "Cody keeps asking how something like this could happen," said one family friend. "He believed in unity. He believed everyone backstage had each other's backs. Now, that trust has been replaced by uncertainty. Many superstars are questioning who they can rely on and what really goes on when the cameras stop rolling." Triple H's mission for accountability. Triple H's reaction to the attack has gone beyond anger. It's become a mission. Insiders say he has vowed to restore safety, respect, and trust across every layer of WWE. He's reportedly formed a special internal task group to examine security systems, backstage access, and potential blind spots that might have allowed the incident to occur. "No one is untouchable anymore," one executive admitted. "If you've crossed the line, there will be consequences." Triple H's approach isn't about revenge, it's about restoration, rebuilding the sense of family that has defined WWE for decades. A company under scrutiny, the fallout from Cody's injury has reached far beyond his hospital room. Sponsors, broadcasters, and partner networks are reportedly monitoring the situation closely, seeking assurances that safety measures are being strengthened. Meanwhile, other wrestling promotions around the world have begun reviewing their own backstage procedures. The incident has forced an uncomfortable but necessary conversation about performer welfare, about what it truly means to protect the people who risk their bodies and reputations for the sake of entertainment. For once, rival companies are united in concern rather than competition. The emotional cost of betrayal. Behind every headline, there's a family dealing with the reality of pain and uncertainty. Brandy Rhodes, balancing the roles of wife, mother, and caretaker, has reportedly asked for privacy while expressing gratitude for the outpouring of support from fans. Their young daughter, too young to understand the magnitude of what happened, only knows that her father is hurt. For Cody's friends, the mood is one of heartbreak and disbelief. Wrestling is built on trust, trusting a partner to keep you safe, trusting a colleague to honor that unspoken bond. When that trust is broken, it shakes the entire foundation of the industry. Triple H's resolve. In closed-door meetings, Triple H is said to have told his staff, "This isn't about image, it's about people. And I will not let fear rule this locker room." His leadership in this moment has drawn both admiration and anxiety. Admiration for his willingness to confront the crisis head-on, and anxiety over the intensity of his resolve. He's made it clear that anyone who contributed to the environment that allowed this to happen will be held accountable. It's a turning point, not just for WWE's management, but for the culture of wrestling itself. A shift from silence to transparency, from tolerance to responsibility. The industry takes notice. Across social media and within the wrestling community, the response has been overwhelming. Fellow wrestlers, both past and present, have spoken out in support of Cody Rhodes and in solidarity with WWE's efforts to clean house. Fans have flooded timelines with messages of encouragement and outrage in equal measure. The story has sparked a broader debate about how far competition and ambition should be allowed to go before they cross into cruelty. For an industry built on spectacle, this real-world reckoning is forcing everyone, from executives to trainees, to reevaluate what kind of culture they're helping create. The road ahead, Cody Rhodes' story, is now about more than one man's recovery. It's about what happens next, how an entire company, perhaps an entire sport, responds to the darkness exposed within it. Will WWE emerge stronger, more transparent, and more united? Or will this incident leave scars that never fully heal? One thing is certain, change is coming. The way performers are protected, the way trust is built, and the way accountability is enforced will never be the same again. And in that sense, Cody's pain may lead to the kind of transformation that ensures no performer ever endures something like this again. A message beyond the ring. At its core, this story isn't about wrestling titles or rivalries. It's about humanity, about a man who gave everything to his profession and was betrayed in its safest space. It's about a leader who refuses to let that betrayal define the company he loves. And it's about every fan who believes that respect should always outweigh rivalry. The American Nightmare may be down, but his legacy is already changing WWE from the inside out. The lesson is simple but profound. In a world built on competition, the greatest victory is still compassion. And the only true storyline worth fighting for is trust.